We go to Chad Zumock and his podcast. I don't know if you can call it a podcast if you have less than 100 people watching it.
I don't think so.
And I'm not saying 100 at a time. I'm saying 100 ever. He's got Tyler Sobchik on again, the charisma vacuum.
Why is he doing this?
I don't know why Chad ever has a co-host, because he always, and he's going to do it in this video again too, where he goes, oh, and Sobchik, you don't know anything about this. It's always a good thing to do with your co-host.
I've said before that I think he picks somebody who doesn't know about it so that he can fill that guy's brain with all this shit and have somebody on his side.
Well, remember, in our last Chad video from last week, we talked about that Facebook post from 2019 where that girl laid out the kind of abusive behavior that Chad kind of engages in. It's the same thing he's doing now with the compound people. And Chad has recently been watching, well, not recently. Chad's been watching our stuff for a while. But he's been racking his brain, and Chad has been so nervous and so rattled by our mockery of him, he hasn't been able to figure out, do I address them? Do I not address them? What do I do?
Do I know who they are? Do I not know who they are?
Do I know who they are? Do I not know who they are? Have I listened to them? Have I not listened to them? Were they cool in high school? Were they not cool in high school?
No.
Chad is back to his old gimmick. Okay. This time he's mentioning steel toe, and you can tell he still has that interpersonal struggle on each side of that little walnut brain of his, and he doesn't know quite how to address it. The funniest part of this clip that we're going to play is he claims that we're just trying to impress Chrissy and Frank. The irony of that is we didn't even meet Chrissy and Frank until we started shitting on Zumock.
Didn't Frank reach out to you?
Yes. I was talking to Frank today, and I'm like, you know what's funny about this delusional fuck? Is that we started this Chad shit. We started the shitting on Chad Zumock because everyone was doing the Stuttering John thing. And we went, oh, this motherfucker's way worse. He's Stuttering John 2.0. And then he started behaving like Stuttering John 2.0. Frank reached out to us, said, hey, you're doing great work with the Chad stuff. I'm so glad you got that started. Carl liked what we were doing, the whole deal. So Chad's like, oh, all these guys are just trying to impress Carl and Chrissy. And it's like, actually, Chad, we all think you're a douche, and we found each other through your douchiness. So thank you. Let's watch Chad Zumock talk about steel toe. And, of course, go watch this yourself. The link is in the chat. And let Chad know what a great job he's doing from the steel toe audience.
Of course.
I give assholes.
Yeah, keep it going.
Okay. Now, I pulled this one, but then I got one this morning. I'm going to start with the one this morning, and we'll jump into the one I originally pulled on Friday. This one comes, I'm not going to give the name out.
Oh,
I'm not a doxer. It just says, now, Tyler, you're not even going to know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I do.
This is my favorite part of the Chad Zumock show. Imagine if everything I talked about, I went, April, by the way, shut the fuck up. You're not going to know anything about this. Just let me riff.
Tell you what, I wouldn't be here because I'd be annoyed.
It says, Steel Toe owned you this morning on their show. You look like a bitch coming after him in the chat room. You're just a coward. Okay.
Now, personally, I wouldn't feel the need to read that on my show. It makes me look like a real sack of shit.
Kinda.
But hey, look, nobody has ever accused Chad of avoiding stepping on the rake and hitting himself in the face. The brilliant thing about Chad Zumock is every time he steps on the rake and hits him in the face, he looks at everyone and goes, I'm fucking killing it, right? As he gets like the cartoon knob coming out of his forehead. Yeah. He's the man.
That is him.
Okay. Do you know anything I'm talking about, Tyler, right now?
No, but if you got steel toes, he must be like a construction worker.
Yes. What? I am a construction worker. That's why I do a show.
Oh.
Sobchik, good God, man.
This is bad.
Chad has already said, hey, the steel toe show. And Sobchik goes, oh, does he work construction?
I do, actually.
Yes. My lesbian wife works construction during our podcast.
I think, okay, what's going on here? And I said I was never going to address this guy because...
There's a victory, ladies and gentlemen. Steel toe wins again. Chad has not even started taking his dose of copium, and already Steel toe has won. I said I wasn't going to address this guy, but guess what? Chad got so full of shaky rage that he had to address it because he was getting the shit. Look, if someone's making fun of you and they're doing it poorly, you don't bother.
No.
If someone's ripping on you and it's getting to you, you're like, I have to address this or I'm going to go insane. We've gotten to Chad so bad where he has to turn the valve and let the steam out or he's going to self-destruct, which, by the way, is still happening.
It'll come.
Even with the venting.
He's just, what happens is all these like lower level tier podcasts, these wannabe O&As, they grew up listening to O&A.
Yes.
So they're playing radio shock jocks.
Okay, did you not do that?
Yeah, at least, hey, Chad, at least we're in the game, Mr. 12 Views. I mean, look, I love having you as a buffoon to make fun of because we're still growing. There's a good amount of channels we're bigger than, but not too many that we can really kick the living shit out of. And Chad, God bless you. You and your 12 views, that does allow us to do that.
He's like a flea.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun.
There's a million of them out there.
This isn't someone that's on the actual radio. This is just...
No, he's just playing podcasts. He's playing shock jock radio guy.
This guy's not even a podcaster.
I refuse to learn the guy's name. That's how insignificant.
Oh, Chad. Now, see, Chad, if you're going to lean in. Don't lie. This is why Chad didn't make it in radio. Our ratings in radio were way higher than anything Chad did. This is why Chad didn't make it in radio. Well, that and the drinking. This is why Chad hasn't made it in comedy. Well, that and the credit card theft and the stalking and the drinking. And this is why Chad won't make it in podcasting. In order to connect with an audience, Chad, they have to get the feeling that you're not completely full of shit. And your biggest problem is your insecurity becomes you. You hate all these people. You obsess over them, but you won't tell your audience that. You still try to keep the cool Billy Madison going back to high school vibe going. And it's so see-through. If you would just admit, I know Aaron, I know Steel Toe, I watch it all the time, I hate when they shit on me, so I'm going to fire back at him. But instead, he does this half-assed thing where he goes, I wasn't going to mention these guys, but now I'm mentioning them. And their show sucks. Well, I don't know their name, but I was watching their show. But I don't watch it, but it's terrible.
He also does know your name because you two have went back and forth on Twitter, which has your name in it.
Chad knows the name. He's so bad at this, he does not know how to approach it. He's fighting with himself constantly. Say his name, don't say his name. Chad, when you're good at this, you can say everybody's name. Notice we plug everybody's podcast, whether we like them or not, because we figure you'll come back.
This guy has no time to learn either. He's 50.
No, it's over for Chad.
People sent me a couple things to me, like little clips, and I watched one of them. He was interviewing E-Rock, who used to be on the Opie and Anthony show.
Who was an absolute sweetheart, and he wrote to me and said, we did a great job on Who Are These Podcasts, and he's going to do the show again. Great to have E-Rock.
E-Rock's great.
And yeah, here's the other thing Chad can't admit. He can't admit he's ever been influenced by anyone.
Nope.
He, honest to God, wants people to think he's an original. And honestly, if I were his influences, I'd be really happy about that because I don't want people to know that I'm responsible for such a failure.
Either,
right? Mm-hmm. So we're heavily influenced by Opie and Anthony. We say that on our show. Like Howard Stern, Opie and Anthony, George Carlin, those are my three favorite guys. Those are kind of who shaped me as a broadcaster. Chad sees that as a negative. I would rather be influenced by those shows and follow the roadmap that they built towards building a great show than be quote unquote an original like Chad Zumock with 12 views and not know what the fuck I'm doing day to day. Chad, honey.
He was like their producer. And I clicked it on, I'm watching this guy, and he's like starstruck over E-Rock. And this guy's I know E-Rock. I used to be friends with him. He's a
Did you catch that?
Keywords used to.
Chad, you used to be friends with a lot of people until they got to know you and they started carrying their wallet in their front pocket around you. By the way, I was there for the E-Rock interview. I have a feeling our audience watching right now. I'm sorry, Chad, an audience is when you have more than one person watching your shit at a time. You got to slow things down for Chad. He's a caveman. When we had E-Rock on, I don't believe there was a lot of starstruckness there. I believe there was. I was very grateful to have him on the show. And we actually had a really good interview.
I don't think you've been like starstruck behavior with anybody.
Yeah.
You guys are all very comfortable and professional.
I think Chad wants that to be the case.
Right.
He's grasping at straws.
fucking dork. And he's like, you could tell he's like a big O&A guy and he couldn't believe he got him on the show. And you could tell he's just an amateur. Like it's amateur hour because they all want to like be like the next whatever that thing.
You're right, Chad. I should get a Sennheiser microphone and shitty free Apple headphones that came with my iPhone, and I should do a really professional podcast.
Okay, Chad, have you had E-Rock on? Has he had E-Rock on?
Here's what he would say. I don't want E-Rock on. My show's good enough. Chad, we've watched your show. You can't do your show and then tell people with a straight face that it's better this way. I will admit, I don't have Tyler Sofchik.
No.
I don't have Tyler Sofchik.
That guy's like a camera operator. He's not even a podcaster. He admits all the time he has no idea what we're talking about.
He is there to be Chad Zumock's emotional tampon because Chad can't control himself.
Yes.
You see Chad coping about steel toe. We've been kicking the shit out of him, and all he has, again, he goes back to the high school thing where he goes, well, E-Rock's a fucking dork. Okay, fine. E-Rock's a dork. Gave us a great show. Did an awesome job. He's so full of this hostility, and he won't. Chad would be so much better off if he would just admit what this was. I want to be bigger. I want to have. I mean, if we're nobody and we're amateurs, Chad, we've got at least 10 to 20 times the audience you do. It's probably more than that. So if I'm an amateur and a nobody, here's the scary part for you, pal. What the fuck are you? Like, I don't mind. I don't have the ego you do. I don't care if I'm an amateur, my show sucks. Look, Chad should think those things about this show.
Yeah.
We beat the shit out of him on a regular basis.
We're not nice.
He should not think this show is good. But Chad, a mirror, please.
Is, and they're all copying each other. They're all doing the same shit. They're going after me. They're going after John. They're going after Opie. They're going after Brendan Schwab. They're doing all the same.
So you pay attention, clearly, because you just said chapter and verse what we do sometimes.
Right. Chad, we do a 4-hour show. And at the end of the 4 hours, we pick one of you to have fun with. You're our dessert. We have our appetizer, our main course. We talk about the news. We do lots of jokes. And then we go, oh, guys, wasn't that a delicious meal? You know what would top this off? The human bag of douche that is Chad Zumock. Let's watch this man melt down in real time. And then the next day we'll go, let's watch Opie melt down in real time.
Yeah.
Let's watch. Now, Brendan's different than them. Brendan is more talented than Chad Zumock.
He is.
Brendan is more talented than Opie. Brendan's fun because he's just a big goof.
I love Brendan so much.
I don't hold any animosity towards Brendan.
I wish Brendan would respond to me.
Yes.
I really do.
I don't hold any animosity towards Chad either. I mean, I don't hold any animosity towards my food,
Sure.
And Chad is he's our dessert at the end of our show. But he has to have this ego where he's like, they just talk about me, Chad. You don't provide enough content.
Don't you like that, though? No one else is saying your name.
Yeah, you should be thanking. You should be sucking my dick. I'm the only person keeping you on the radar, pal.
Shit. So this guy, he's constantly he's trying to get my attention so bad. And what I do is I don't watch any of it because
I watched him do the E-Rock thing. He was a total fanboy. I don't watch any of it.
You just debunked all that. You listed all of our fools, too.
This is why, Chad would never play clips of us shitting on him on his show.
Yeah.
Because it would be too accurate. I will play clips of Chad shitting on us all day long because it's that walking into the rake, hitting yourself in the face and thinking, nailed it.
I really do just kind of listen to him talking and I feel glazed over like, oh, this doesn't really feel like anything.
You mean you glaze over like Sovchik does when he rants about these people?
Look at him. That guy's not present.
He's falling asleep.
I don't know what that guy is, but he's something weird.
So Zumock he just goes over everything. Oh, talks about Opie, talks about Brendan, talks about me, talks about this, sounds like we talk about a lot of stuff on this show. Mm-hmm. Sounds like a pretty good show. You should check it out. I wish he had listeners that we could steal.
I know.
But he goes, he does this, he does that. I listened to his E-Rock interview. He was a fanboy. I don't know anything about him. I don't listen.
Who is that guy again?
I almost want to help Chad shit on me. It's like, Chad, I deserve for you to be better at this than you are.
You could do a Chad special one day where you actually wrote out like an itinerary of how to go through shitting on you.
Yes. Chad, say this about us. That'll be funnier. I should write for him so he's actually funny when he shits on us.
That could be cool.
He also, this was definitely brought on by that Facebook thing that we talked about on our show.
Yeah.
That
the
got to him.
The ex-girlfriend.
The ex-associate, girlfriend, worker, whatever it was, who totally laid out what he did to her is exactly what he's doing to like Carl and Chrissy and me. Well, not really me. He's failing miserably at this. That got to him. That shook him on a level where this came out of him. And I'm really proud of that.
Because if you don't watch it, it doesn't exist. And plus, it's just not that good. And if you watch what Shuli and Bob Levy are doing on Uncle Rico with Stuttering John, the reason why it works, two reasons. One, they're comics and they're hilarious. Yeah. They're very funny with it. And they're funny and they know what to do and they know how to play with it.
Watch this.
Two, they know John. We all know each other. I don't know.
Oh, so only if you personally know someone can you build an entire show around them. Because remember, his whole thing with who are these podcasts and me and everyone else, oh, they just make fun of these 6 people or whatever and this and that, and that's bullshit. But then he picks a show that is literally only about one guy ever, and all of a sudden, that's really cool and awesome. And why? Because he wants to suck Bob Levy's dick.
Yes.
Chad, this is desperation. You want Shuli to like you. You want Bob to like you. You want these guys to elevate you to the next level because you've tried it on your own and it's not working. So then you give them a pass because he accuses other people of like, oh, they're just sucking dick to get to this level. What are you doing, Captain Contradiction?
I don't know who any of these people are. The Ski Mask, I don't know these people at all.
You just mentioned Ski Mask Collective. You can't mention people and say you don't know who they are, Chad. Oh, I don't want him to go away because he never learns.
I don't think he'll go
funny.
away. He's kind of like, to me, he's a cockroach. Like, you can't kill it.
Oh, he's great.
And they're trying to do what Shuli and all the Kumia does, and they're doing a shitty version of it. It's just a watered down, shitty version. These Carls, it's not that good. So if you don't watch it, it doesn't exist, and they're not on the radar. And
he wanted to say they're not on my radar until he realized I've been ranting like a psychopath, contradicting myself about these people for the last 3 minutes.
And poor little Tyler's just sipping his water, just shrugging like, nah.
Sovchik has to be Sovchik. I gotta talk.
What a waste of time.
Ignore Chad for a second. Sovchik, get off this show. What are you doing?
You're wasting your life.
You're a photographer. You've got a life. Yeah, I don't know. You maybe have a family. Dump this fucking loser. What are you doing on this show? I mean, no offense, buddy. You don't add anything. We've watched you. You don't know anything that he's ranting and raving about. Free yourself. Liberate yourself, Sovchik. You'll be a happier guy. This guy is a ticking time bomb. He's cancer. He's wrecked everything he's ever tried. Just, Sovchik, step away. It'll be better for you.
Like I said, I've refused to know the guy's name because he's just some try-hard.
So wait a minute. When you type in @Aaron Imholt on Twitter when you're bitching and complaining about me, that doesn't stick. Sorry, Chad, I don't believe it.
I don't like it that somebody like this gets to call people tryhards too.
Right, exactly.
Like, you're trying so hard.
The whole reason he got on our radar is because he went, I'm going to jump into the Stuttering John thing. And we went, this guy's going for clout. He's not doing it for the right reasons because John's funny and he wants to poke fun at him. He saw the views. Our channel, our show, when we were probably half the size we are now, we cut that shit off immediately. We cock-blocked him on the whole thing. We called him out, and he has held a grudge ever since because we stopped him from getting in on the Stuttering John thing. And then the Facebook stuff and finding out about the credit cards.
Nasty.
And just ripping the shit out of him. This guy. And watching him break over it has been, fantastic. The other thing is, he's talking about Carl, Chrissy, myself, and then going, they're just trying to get attention to grow their shows. Yeah, Chad. Let's adopt that. Here's the best part about Chad. You can adopt all of his points and then just own them even if they're not true and still make him look like a dick. So Chad, let's say you're right. Chrissy, Carl, myself. We're all just doing it for clout. And you are latching onto our backs to try and grow your show. So, okay, we are pathetic try-hard amateurs that you are leeching off of for clicks. Chad, you are not good at this, but please keep doing it. The tryhards and the amateurs will continue to allow you to piggyback on us so that you can maybe get more than 12 views next time around.
He's like a well of misfortune. You just keep going back to him.
It's a beautiful way to put it. Really, but he's a renewable well because the misfortune never stops.
It's like a spring. It just keeps refilling.
And with that being said, I won't watch any of his stuff. Continue to make shows about me. I could give a fuck.
I don't know, Chad. This doesn't sound like give a fuck, and I'm starting to see the mic shake, too. Might want to get a mic stand so people can't see how rage-filled you are.
I've actually always hated it when somebody's like holding their mic.
Oh, by the way,
I think it looks really tacky.
The guy holding the mic is calling us amateurs.
That's like our like backup travel mic if we need one for shows.
No, we have a Shure. That's like a shitty Sennheiser.
Oh, really?
That's even worse. That's a
God.
really bad
well,
mic.
I retract.
And it doesn't affect me one way or another. And what ultimately happened,
Chad, you just spent 4 minutes of your show talking about it. This is why people don't listen to you. This is why your shit never hits. You can't be honest. As a broadcaster, Chad, and I'm going to teach you this because I am a professional, whereas you're an amateur. As a broadcaster, you have to be open and honest with your audience to connect with them. You keep playing this game in your own head because you're so self-conscious where you want to rant about the thing. Never gets to trashing it, by the way.
No.
Just gets frustrated and mad.
He's stuck.
And then you go, no, but I don't know who they are and I don't watch it. Chad.
Buddy.
You're never going to get fans that way because they now know you just told them you're a liar and you're full of shit.
I just kind of want him to have like a breakdown moment where he kind of not even needs to cry, but he's just like, oh, I've been doing this all so wrong. And you
Right.
just kind of put your hand on his shoulder like, buddy, it's going to be okay.
Chad,
And you'll never get there.
yeah, you need help, bud. That's all.
dude, I've been doing this since 2009.
That's the saddest part.
I wouldn't say that.
By the way, Chad's been doing this since 2009. Ask me how long I've been broadcasting.
How long?
Since 2006. Look,
Jesus,
Chad.
that is a long time.
Chad, if you want to call me an amateur, that's fine, but I'm 15 years younger than you, and I've been doing this 3 years longer. So I've got a professional setup. You're holding a Sennheiser with AirPods in. Best of luck to you, kid. Hey, go get 'em, Tiger. If you ever need any tips, let me know. I can help you out. And I know you don't have any money, so I'll do it gratis.
This isn't my first rodeo. I've gone battles with fucking Maxwell, Rover. Like, I've been through it. Stansberry, lower level tier dudes like you.
Look out. He's been in Cleveland radio, and he's gotten made fun of by hacky radio people. Oh.
Look at the big balls on Chad.
So that is 3 minutes of Chad Zumock copium, while Tyler Sovchik does nothing,
Not a word.
has nothing to add. He looks up our videos at one point, and he goes, oh, do they do this for a living? And Chad has to then do the thing where he goes, oh, no, I think they ask for money from their audience.
So for a living.
Which one is it, Chad? Do you not know? Or do we ask for money from our audience? Like, every show. Every show does that, Chad.
We're working on getting rid of that part.
Yeah, and not only that, Chad's not working on getting rid of that part.
Right.
He's doing it, and they won't give him money. So he's mad at the shows who do well enough, and they go, all right, guys, end of the show. This is where we're at. If you want this show to keep going, let's see if we can hit that number. And they go, you guys have a really good show. We're going to hit that number for you.
Poor Chad.
Pretty nice. So, guys, there's Chad again. It's just every time we watch him try to not mention us, he goes into a 4-minute rant, and it's just full of contradictions
It's sick.
and coping.
I'm not going to mention this guy, but listen to how much I'm going to mention this guy.
He spins himself into more of a web than we do. Chad, we just laugh at you.
He's seriously stuck. It's like being stuck in the mud.
Yeah. We just kind of watch you and have a good time. You're the one getting all wound up. Do I say this? Do I not say that? You're so full of self-doubt that you don't even take the time to make fun of us. That's the worst part. You fight with yourself so much on the inside, you can't even fight with us, buddy. And by the way, thanks for the extra clip.
Thank you.
He goes, keep making shows about me. As Anthony Cumia would say, all right.
At least he actually said steel toe for his 12 viewers.
He did. His 12 viewers can now go watch Steel Toe. Guys, there's the Chad new episode. I want you guys to go and make your comments. Let's go see what our audience has had to say so far on the Chad Zumock thing. Let's grab the Zumock copium here. Has it grown in views? Let's see. Hey, it's more than doubled in views to 28 from 12. Good job, Chad. You did it. Here we go.
No, the people.
Uh-oh. P.A. Cheddar is commenting. And by the way, guys, again, there's the link. Click on it. Leave your comments. Let Chad know that we're riding with him. P.A. Cheddar writes, Steel Toe is in your head, Chad. Say their name. You know what it is. I would never know who you are if they never mentioned you, and neither would a lot of other people. Atomic Citizen says, you should have opened with steel toe segments. They can only help you at this, but good luck with the Nova Scotia market.
I love him.
Standalone Cakecorn says, please make a vid wearing that sweet-ass captain's hat, and I have a prepaid $25 Visa card that's all yours. No questions asked, no charges filed.
It's a good one, sir.
David Chandler with a yikes sad. So you guys have now given him twice the views
That's good.
that it had before. There you go. There's the link again. Before we get out of here in the next 5 minutes, let's see how much support we can get Chad Zumock.
Okay.
Let's see how much support we can give the guy.
Get his numbers up.
And get his numbers up.
It's just a watered down, shitty version. These Carls.
Yes. Carl. Of course, he's obsessed with Carl. Hey,
so many Carls.
Up to 31. Up to 31. Good job. He's deleting comments. Chad's deleting
Got
comments.
in there fast.
Guys, you got to get back in there.
no.
Chad's deleting comments. It went from 8 to 7.
That was so fast.
Guys, you got it. He's deleting comments. You got it. He probably thinks you're being mean. We're not. We want you to go in there and tell Chad what you think of his show and help him out and get him some views. That's all we want. I don't want you to harass the guy. I want you to help him.
We want to see Chad living his best life.
I want to see Chad being able to not sleep on a futon anymore.
I agree.
That's all I want. Chad, if you want a part-time job here,
I want to
talk
see
to
him
me.
get
We're starting to get back up again.
I want to see him get a mic with a stand
Yeah, Chad. Oh, we should mail him a mic stand.
and some headphones.
Decent headphones, yeah. JJ says, not bad, Chad, but you should wear your high school Letterman jacket next stream. Turtle says, I think Chad smells like old hot dog water and credit card fraud. I don't know if that's a smell.
Oh, that's super hurtful.
I don't know if that's necessarily a smell, you guys.
Oh, it's a smell.
They're very funny with it.
I didn't know. Oh, thank you. Did you hear that? He said they're very funny with it. What a nice guy. So there's the newest Chad Zumock. Oh, yeah. We're up to 10 comments now, so maybe he's not deleting. Triple N says, I bet this guy was really popular in high school.
And he was.
And that's a nice thing to write.
It is.
Absolutely
I wish
a nice
I was
thing
cool in
to
high
write.
school.
Yeah.
I would have gotten all the dick I wanted.
Oh, well, I'm sorry you didn't.
I was turned down at every turn.
Apologize for that. There you go. There's the link. He deleted the gift card comment, somebody said. Oh, Chad.
But why? Like, that's public knowledge now, so why delete it?
We're up to 36 views. We've tripled his views.
That's
We've
incredible.
tripled his views. That's pretty good. All right. We got a reply here. Never mind. Offer is off the table. I will just watch an old episode of The Love Boat, says Standalone Cake. Oh, he pulled back the $25 Visa gift card order. Chad could have really used that, you guys. He probably could get a mic stand for that.
A new captain's hat.
A new captain's hat? Sure. You guys got him up to 40 views from 12.
It's pretty good.
That's awesome. Thank you, guys. No, he's not live, by the way, Farfik Nugan. Just a Dabbler says, my 8 years of high school really changed my life. Well, you know what? Hey, way to persevere.
8 years.
Way to persevere.
That's incredible, sir.
Citizen M says, the more you talk about Chad Zumock, the more I like him. He's like if Stuttering John was a potential mass shooter. Thank you, Citizen
Well, according
M.
to Kevin.
Well,
you know.
I mean, Kevin can probably spot him, you know?
Maybe.
You guys have him up to 49. Hey, don't forget to leave comments. Also, let him know how good his show is. Let him know that, Steel Toe's here to help.